Okay, welcome back. It's been a couple days since you've heard from me and my friends, my monster friends, and as you notice, we are just flying through the chapters. We have now started chapter 7, which puts us into fractions. We just learned decimals, and fractions and decimals are related, and now we're going to get into fractions. And before that, we have to learn a little bit more before we can add or subtract fractions, especially fractions that have different denominators, but we'll get to that. For today, you're going to learn about factor pairs. That's a word I'm going to use a lot in the coming days. And the word divisible. And I have spelled them correctly, so that's good. I'm sure you can use your language arts or your reading skills to figure out what the word factor pairs is. The word pairs generally means, yell it out now if you know, 2, exactly. So we're looking for 2 factors. The official definition, which is not going to be on your notes, so don't write it, but just listen to what it is factor pairs is, or are, 2, I should put are, that would be better, more proper. Factor pairs are 2 whole numbers, and I'm doing my fancy symbols here to make it faster, whose product, now you guys remember what product is? Exactly, it is the answer to a multiplication problem. So whose product equals a given whole number. Now that sounds like I'm saying the same thing over again. But let me give you some examples. 4 times 3 is a factor pair of 12. Just like 1 times 12 is a factor pair of 12. Can you think of one more? Pause the tape and think of another factor pair of 12. Ah, you did. 2 times 6, or 2 and 6, is a factor pair of 12. Great job. So that's our first term that we're going to be talking about a lot. The other one is divisible. And divisible simply means can be divided by. So if I were to say 12, I could say can be divided by, which is a lot of words to write, especially if I write out the word instead of using the symbol for division. I could just say 12 is divisible by 3. Or I could say 12 is divisible by 1, or 12 is divisible by 4, or 12 is divisible by 6. So all of those numbers will actually go into 12. And that's what that means, divisible. Alright, so tonight's homework is, well, not tonight, you're watching the videos, but tomorrow in class, what we're going to be working on is identifying the factor pairs for certain numbers. And you want to find all of the factors. So the easiest way to do it is actually to set up what I call a T-chart. And I'm going to put it underneath our monster here. Alright, and you're going to want to do this too every time you're trying to find the factors. It'll make your life so easy. And you always number over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You number on the left all the way to 9. Then what you do is you go through and you think, okay, 1 times what is going to give me 24? So you start with 1. So think about this. 1 times some number is going to give me the factor or the number 24. What is that number? Yes, you guessed it. It's 24. So that goes here, because if you thought of the line as a times sign, okay, 1 times 24 is going to give you 24. Alright, let's find another factor pair. So we're going to start with the next number down. 2. 2 times what number is going to give me 24? Do you know that one? Did you guess 12? Perfect. So if we were to put a little time sign and say 12. So far we have 2 factor pairs, or 4 numbers that will go into 24. Let's try the next number down. The number 3. 3 times what number? I think we should know this. If you don't, you need to be practicing your times tables. Say it with me. Yes, 8. Good. So you see where 8 goes? It goes right here. Alright, let's try 4. 4 times some number equals 24. Did you get it? I hope you said 6, because 6 is the correct answer. Alright, now 5. 5 times some number equals 24. Is that going to work? A whole number can't go in here, so that does not work. So we cross it out on our list. How about 6? 6 times some number is going to equal 24. Well, we already did 4 times 6, so 6 times 4 is going to go in here. So you're going to put a 4. Now notice, we're starting to repeat here. Try 7. Is 7 times some number going to equal 24? Not a whole number here, so that one's out. Cross it out on your T-chart. Okay, how about 8 times some number is going to equal 24? Well, you've already done that. Look up here. See? Da-da-da-da-da. It's right there, so you don't even have to think. 3. So I'm going to put in, let me use my color, sorry. I'm going to put in 3 over here, so it's like a time sign. All right, and then 9, and I ran out of room, so I will go over here. 9 times some number equals 24. Is there a number that can go in here that's a whole number? No. Cross it off. Cross it off. So, if you were to list all the pairs, the factor pairs, you have to cross off any duplicates. So, I have 4 times 6 right here, but the duplicate is right there, so I cross that off. Do I have 8 times 3, 3 times 8? I already have that one. So you cross off all the duplicates. Now we're going to list them in order. Alright, here's the fun part. This is where you get to list the factors. And you start over. Use your T-chart. You start at the top. And remember, all of your factors have to be listed in order from least to greatest. So we're going to start here, and we're going to write 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Now, am I going to write 5? No, because it's crossed out. I am going to write 6 because now we're starting onto the other side. But notice that everything down here has been crossed off. So we're not going to list anything down there. Then we're going to go back up this side. 6, 8, 12, 24. Now watch this. This is called the magic rainbow. Now you don't have to do this, but you're going to see something. 1 and 24 are factor pairs because if you multiply them together, you get 24. 2 times 12. Guess what? You get 24. 3 times 8. Guess what? 24. Can you say it with me? 24. 6 times 4 is 24. Alright, let's do one more problem. Okay, we are going to name all of the factor pairs for 54. Now some are going to seem really obvious, like 1 and 54, because 1 is always used and the number itself is always a factor. But you're going to be surprised, so it's very important that you make a T-chart so that you are making sure that you have covered every single possible factor pair combination. So, step 1, because I know you guys like to have steps, is to draw your T-chart. Okay, T-chart. There's not even very many steps to this, by the way. Oops, that's chant. That's not chart. Let's try it right. Chart. Okay, you number it, you make a T, and you number it 1 through 9. Okay? And then step 2 is start to go through all the factors. Step 2. Alright, factors. So 1, and I'm going to change colors here. 1 times what number is going to give me 54? Now you don't have to write 54 to the side, but it kind of helps me visualize. I need to find out, well, exactly. 54. Now, 2. 2 I know is going to go into it. I don't know how many times because I don't know that off the top of my head, so I'm going to do my math off to the side. 2 goes into 54. You might have to do this if you don't know these. 2 goes into 5 twice. Next, going to be 4, so you're going to have to use your division, which you learned this year. Bring down your 4. 2 goes into 14 7 times. Perfect. I don't have a remainder, so therefore I know that 2 and 27 are the factors of 54. It's a factor pair. Alright, how about 3? I think you're going to want to say no, but we better just double check. Because you have to have all of the factors, especially if you want to be at level 3. So 3 goes into 5 one time, leaving us with 2 remaining, but we're not done because we've got to bring the 4 down. See, I'm doing this. 4. How many times will 3 go into 24? 8 times. So knowing your times tables here is going to be helpful to you. Alright, so this does work because I don't have a remainder. So 3 times 18 is also a factor. How about 4? Let's see. 5 will go into 4 one time, or 4 go into 5, excuse me. And we have 1, and then we're going to bring down the 14. Okay, that's not going to go in nicely, so I know that doesn't work. So let's cross 4 out. 5, well I know 5 won't go into it because it doesn't end in 5, and it doesn't end in 0, so we can cross that one off. 6, now this is a basic fact. 9 times 6 is equal to 54. Alright, 7, I also know that no number times 7 is going to equal 54. It equals 56, but not 54. Just like I know 8, there's no number that's going to equal 54. And finally, 9 times what number, which we already determined above here, right there, is 54. Okay, so now it's time for us to write out all our factors. I'll do it in blue, because that's fun. Alright, our factors starting over here and going down, not including the ones that are crossed out. So 1 is a factor of 54, 2 is a factor of 54, 3 is a factor of 54, 6 is, this is a duplicate, so that should have been crossed out. Now we're going to go back up this side. So we're going to list 9, oh I'm running out of room here, 18, 27, 54. And those are all the factor pairs of 54. A lot of them, huh? 3, I bet you didn't know about 2 and 3. So you got to do that division in order to make sure you have all of the factors listed. Alright, now time for you guys to get your notes and submit your answers to my questions. Have a good night.